was something more. Still wondering what you're waiting for.
Well, welcome back to Dispatch Tea and Therapy, and today is Merry Moon Day. And today we're going to be diving into a topic that's been sitting kind of heavy and somehow also light on my heart, and that is gratitude as the transformative portal to joy. When we focus on what brings us joy and what aligns with who we are, we can fundamentally change how the universe responds to us. Gratitude is not something that we just feel, but something that we practice and lean into, especially when life has given us reasons to armor up. Brené Brown says that joy is the most vulnerable emotion we can experience. It's easy to think of vulnerability only in terms of grief, heartbreak, or loss. But joy, real, expansive joy, that's where we risk the most. Being joyful means we have something to lose. It means trusting that good things are worth savoring, even when we know they are temporary. Yet it's this very joy that fuels our resilience, inspiring us to keep going even in the face of uncertainty. Now, Brené also says that twinkle lights are the perfect metaphor for joy. Joy is not a constant. It comes to us in moments, often ordinary moments, like tiny bursts of light. Sometimes we miss out on those bursts because we're too busy chasing extraordinary moments, thinking joy has to be huge and dramatic to matter. But real joy lives in the ordinary. In a cup of tea, in a quiet evening with friends or a partner, with your dogs, a moment of shared laughter, being out in nature. When we pay attention to the small twinkles, we realize life is lit up far more often than we thought. And let me tell you, it's terrifying sometimes, but it's also where the magic lives. So 2 weeks ago, I sort of derailed on this project of YouTube and blog, and that's because some really amazing and beautiful things started unfolding in my life. I was offered early acceptance to a long hoped for internship in clinical mental health counseling. It's a year early, a little over a year. And something else that I've been working on that's a little bit more private that I haven't told anybody about, that's a piece of my future, is also quietly unfolding behind the scenes. I'm not really ready to share more about that right now. But the point is that the stars are moving, the stars are aligning, right? And these things didn't happen because I white-knuckled my way into them. They happened because I chose to lean into what felt expansive, to prioritize what brings me joy and a deep sense of alignment. The things that light me up are not a distraction from real life. They are indicators of real life. Work doesn't feel like work when we walk toward what feels aligned. It's a lot of W's, sorry. The obstacles, they'll still appear, but they lose their power to define us, to cripple us, to stop us. And gratitude is sort of the bridge to that. Michael J. Fox once said, "With gratitude, optimism is sustainable." And that line has been echoing in me a lot lately. Gratitude is not denial. It doesn't pretend that bad things don't happen. Gratitude says, even now, I can find something to be thankful for. It's a radical, resilient choice that empowers us to take control of our emotions and find light in the darkest of times. When my mom died, it would have been easy to get swallowed by grief, and some days I did, and that's also okay. Some days the wave would knock me flat, but gratitude kept handing me driftwood. The relief that she didn't suffer through endless treatments that she would have hated, the memory of her laughter in better days, and the dignity that she was able to keep. Gratitude did not erase the grief. It didn't change the ending, but it gave me something solid to sort of hold on to. So, what is bringing me joy this week? My joy this week is a movie that I keep returning to. It is my go-to joy trigger when I need a reset, and it's called The Secret Dare to Dream. It is a romantic drama, I can't really call it a comedy, with Katie Holmes and Josh Lucas, and yes, it has a few feel-good tropes, but underneath the cozy vibe, it holds some genuinely transformative ideas. There's a line that stopped me the first time I heard it from this movie, and it's, "I'm open to the possibility that whatever happens, even the bad stuff, can lead to better things." I've experienced that, so I believe in that. There's more peppered throughout the movie. Anything is possible if you really want it, and we get what we expect. You get what you give. Now, these aren't just petty or pretty affirmations. They are subtle but serious challenges. What are you expecting? What are you giving? And what possibilities are you willing to be open to, even when it feels risky? Because what you expect shapes what you notice, what you pursue, and how you interpret events. I almost said invents. This movie reminds me to soften my grip on control and choose a mindset over fear. It is not magical thinking, it's about emotional readiness and energetic alignment. Gratitude widens the door to possibility. It tells the universe, I'm ready for more good. So we need to keep practicing gratitude, keeping our hearts open and leaning into and inviting joy into our lives. This movie is romance, rainstorms, and a little bit of magic. So The Secret Dare to Dream is based on the original The Secret book and film, but it sort of wraps those ideas in something warmer and softer, something more human. The secret and the psychology beneath it, and let me pause and clarify something here real quickly, because I know some folks might be thinking of two different things here. If you're unfamiliar with the book The Secret, it did start as began as a 2006 book and a documentary style film that promoted the law of attraction, which suggests that our thoughts emit a frequency and that what we focus on, we attract. Now that sounds simple, and to some it sounds too good to be true. And yes, parts of The Secret sort of lean into magical thinking. But when we strip away the sparkles and the surface level hype, what's left is something sort of quietly powerful. It's a pop culture packaging of what psychology has long been exploring. In cognitive behavioral therapy, we examine how thoughts shape our emotions and behaviors. In dialectical behavior therapy, we help people build emotional regulation through mindfulness, opposite action, and radical acceptance. These aren't buzzwords, they're practical, teachable skills for navigating life's difficulties. So when the book, The Secret, the movie, whatever, says we get what we expect, I hear our expectations influence how we interpret experiences, how we show up in relationships, and what we believe we're capable of. As Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And when the romance dramedy movie is back on and it says that even the bad stuff can lead to better things, what I hear is DBT's radical acceptance and CBT's cognitive reframing working together. I'm open to the possibility that whatever happens, even the bad stuff, can lead to better things. That's not delusion. That's resilience with imagination. That's DBT meets CBT. That's a reframed worldview, grounded, not fanciful. So the romantic dramedy that I'm speaking of now, this movie, has become a sort of joy touchstone for me. It reminds me that our outlook isn't fixed. It's a choice we keep making, especially on the hard days. And that isn't magical thinking. It's a mindset. And mindset, that's a muscle we strengthen through practice. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like there's always a theme song for my life. Various times in my life, there's a different theme track, right? So every significant shift has a soundtrack. Sometimes that's on purpose, something I've chosen, and sometimes it finds me by accident. And lately there's one song that I keep coming back to, and it is from the movie that I mentioned before, The Secret Dare to Dream, and it's called Horizon by Lee DeWyze, and it is chasing me down with meaning. So I didn't pick this song as my theme song. It sort of picked me, and the more I listen, the more I realize it's telling the story that I'm living. When it says holding on for something more, still wondering what you're waiting for. They say to take things as they come, but we'll find out when the dealing's done. Right now, I'm walking the line between past in dispatch and my future in counseling. And sometimes that line feels razor thin. But this lyric, that how to walk the line between then and now, is precisely where I am. And when the song says, I don't know what is on the horizon, but I know that I'm all in, for me, that's not just a lyric, that's a declaration. I don't know exactly what's ahead, but I know what I'm moving toward, and it lights me up. I can see the horizon and the stars are aligning. This song is more than background music. It's a reminder to trust what I can't yet see, to step out of the dark, to believe that even if I don't have the whole map, I know the direction, and for now, that's enough. As I've been walking this line between two lives, the one I've known in dispatch and the one I'm growing into as a counselor, I've noticed something else. It's not just fear of the unknown that creates anxiety. It's the impulse to control the outcome, to need proof before peace. But there's a therapist that I used to follow on Instagram named Tory Eletto. I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly. And she put it very succinctly. She said the opposite of anxiety isn't calm, it's self-trust. Anxiety mistakenly seeks safety in the outcome. Self-trust finds safety within ourselves. That hit me very hard because what I'm learning slowly, daily, is that this transition isn't about knowing exactly what's next. It's about believing I'll meet myself there. So anxiety controls to feel safe. Self-trust surrenders to feel safe. We don't need to calm our anxiety. We need to remember that we'll take care of ourselves through the unknown, the unpredictable, the vulnerable, and the hard. That right there, that's the new baseline I'm building from. That's what Horizon echoes for me as well. I do not know what's ahead, but I am all in anyway. I am not controlling the outcome, but I'm aligning myself with it, or it's aligning itself to me. I'm not waiting for certainty, but I am choosing self-trust. Now, Brené Brown, again, her research found something really fascinating. Joyful people are not more grateful because they're joyful. They're joyful because they're grateful. Gratitude came first. And not just spontaneous feelings of appreciation, but intentional gratitude practices. People who practiced gratitude actively, writing it down, saying it out loud, noticing it intentionally, experienced significantly more joy. They did not ignore the hard parts of life. They honored the good, even amid the complex parts. For me, gratitude looks like ending each day by naming one thing I'm grateful for, even if it's something tiny, like my dog's ridiculous zoomies or my cup of tea. Saying thank you out loud to myself, to others, to life. Celebrating tiny wins, even when the big wins feel far away. When I do this, I feel that shift inside. The hard days don't disappear, but they stop defining everything. Gratitude keeps my eyes open for the horizon, even when the road gets rocky. Today, Merry Moon Day isn't just about feeling good. It's about choosing good. Choosing to notice it, choosing to plant seeds for it, choosing to believe that the universe meets you where your heart points. So I invite you to find one thing today, just one thing to be grateful for. Name it, write it down, whisper it if you have to, but hold on to it. And if you need a soundtrack for your journey, let mine be yours. Just remember, alignment isn't about knowing everything. It's about trusting the pull of your soul. Wherever you are on your path, keep walking toward what lights you up. The stars are closer than you think. I want to thank you again for joining me today on Merry Moon Day, and I look forward to seeing you Wednesday, for Mental Health Wednesday. And if this resonated for you, please like, share, and subscribe, and we will talk again later. Take care of yourselves in the meantime.
Don't know what is going on.